Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. So in economic news, inflation jumped to 9.1% in June. It's the highest it's been since 1981. And for the first time in 20 years, the US dollar is now the same value as the euro. In gun violence news, the House passed an active shooter alert system bill, which would notify nearby residents of any active shooter in their area. This is much like the Amber Alerts for kidnapped children. That bill is now going to move on to the Senate for a vote. In abortion news, the Department of Justice has launched a reproductive rights task force to ensure that state and local governments aren't violating women's rights. President Biden also issued an order that all hospitals must offer an abortion if the life of the mother is at risk. And the authority to do so and legal protection is granted under the Federal Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. That supersedes state and local laws. In Arizona, a federal judge has suspended the enforcement of that state's bill, which grants human rights to a fetus. The judge said that the law was too murky and vague, and it was subject to interpretation. A Minnesota judge struck down the majority of that state's abortion rules, including a 24-hour waiting period, a requirement that both parents be notified before a minor can get an abortion, that only physicians can perform abortions, and that abortions after the first trimester must be performed in hospitals. In Indiana, lawmakers have asked the state Supreme Court to affirm parental notice for minors to receive an abortion. In California, a doctor announced that he's launching a floating abortion clinic in the Gulf of Mexico. That's to circumvent state bans. And the FDA has received an application for the first of its kind over-the-counter birth control pill. So women wouldn't need a prescription from a doctor any longer. Other California news, Los Angeles County returned Bruce's Beach to the Bruce family. This is the first known instance of property reparations because over 90 years ago, 2 parcels of land were seized from this family, which is a Black family, using very nefarious methods. Also in California, Orange County announced that they've cleared a 30-year backlog of untested sexual assault kits. This has resulted in hundreds of new DNA profiles entered into law enforcement databases. And the Orange County DA's office said that it already has resulted in charges being filed in 6 previous cold cases. Funny how financial crimes never sit around for 30 years, huh? Speaking of not following through, Twitter is officially suing Elon Musk for backing out of his purchase with them. And legal experts say he's screwed, but it could take up to a decade before it makes it to court. Progressive Senate Democrats say that there's new talk of expanding the Supreme Court. However, vulnerable Democrats don't want to have the discussion. And the GOP announced that their Republican Senate campaign division raised a record $173 million in just this fundraising cycle. So anyway, guys, I will let you know when I hear more. Thanks for the quickie. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.